Did the clickbait work? Are you here with a malicious attitude? Great, because I'm gonna look at your hot takes on manga and anime. Dog, this is so crazy. How the fuck do YouTubers do intros? Some things that are called edgy are just shock value rather than edgy, because something edgy is avant-garde rather than just shocking, like Punpun and Homunculus. So what I gather from this is that your definition of edgy is at least very different to mine. Like when you say edgy, you mean something avant-garde and I guess something positive, like dark, maybe gritty, maybe psychological, maybe that's what you're going for? Because for me personally, the word edgy is like... Shadow the Hedgehog is edgy. Tokyo Ghoul fans, back when the first season dropped years ago, were edgy. Edgy is like synonymous with cringe to me personally. To be fair, edgy isn't like a dictionary where it doesn't have a actual definition. Your own definition of it just kind of depends on where you heard it, because it's like internet slang, right? I'm also very confused by this comment as to like, are you saying Punpun and Homunculus are edgy? Or just shock value? Like, I really, do I have like a reading comprehension problem? Or I feel like the word I would use in this comment to replace edgy would be just dark or psychological is maybe even better. And while both Punpun and Homunculus have some shock value that I don't really think amounts to anything other than shock value, Homunculus more so than Punpun. I still think these two works are more so just psychological and brilliant than something just for shock value. Okay, so I haven't even watched ReZero, but I just want to put this one in because I think it's so funny that someone's having an actual meltdown because there's a cat called Garfield in it. Sure, dude. Naruto is mid and we all know it. Go watch something good like Love is War. And then the next comment is not really that fond of Love is War. It's like not even replying to the other comment. It's just like it's just a separate comment. Love is War, I know nothing about it. Naruto is mid. Bro, haven't we heard this kind of shit so many times at this point? Vagabond isn't that good and shouldn't be compared to Berserk. Also, Punpun is mid. You're just trying to fuck with me, right? This is like just a downhill from the very beginning. Vagabond isn't that good. Shouldn't be compared to Berserk. Also, Punpun is mid. Like, Vagabond isn't that good. Okay, I can kind of get how some people might find it boring. Sure, whatever. It's your personal preference. Shouldn't be compared to Berserk. It's like, okay. I think there's a very clear reason to why they're constantly being compared, but I do wonder if I had never heard like an anituber or another person comparing the two like on a regular basis and just went out and read them myself, would I be comparing the two? Probably. I think it happens for a reason. It's not just people jumping on a bandwagon, which we do see a shit ton in the anime manga community, both on YouTube, Twitter, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Berserk is fantasy. Vagabond is more realistic. I can see why someone might get kind of pissed that people constantly compare them to each other if for what you see them as, you see no like connection between the two. I think that's a pretty fair point. Still disagree, but also Punpun is mid, man. I'm not even gonna fucking elaborate on that. Thanks for the clickbait though. That's fucking good. I'm tired of fighting animes with don't give up protagonists and wholesome meaningless romance. Bro, I have such a soft spot for these don't give up protagonists and friendship is your power protagonists and whatnot. Like, I deadass get teary-eyed when a shonen protagonist goes on their little spiel about like friendship is your power and whatever, like don't let go of your dreams, you can do it. Like, yes, it's corny, yes, it's fucking dumb, but at the same time it's just such a simple and great message. Like, who the fuck can like disagree unless you're like reading Oyasumi Punpun 24/7 in your apartment, nihilist, pessimist asshole? Who can disagree with a don't give up message? Or like just stick with your friends are your power, just stay with the ones you love kind of message. I think that's just really wholesome. People who rate anime manga based on art style don't deserve to drink water. Holy shit. Man, is it just me or is this... or is this just a fucking elitist take? Like, we're talking about an art form that can very heavily rely on visual aspects. So what's wrong with ranking that artwork or piece of art based on those visual aspects. Yeah, I fucking get it. Like, it's about the writing, it's about the character development, it's about the world building, it's about right, yes, sure. But I first of all think this is such a made-up scenario. I haven't seen anyone ever rank shit just purely due to artwork. I think it just so happens that, especially in the seinen manga sphere, there's a lot of manga that has both amazing artwork and amazing writing and amazing character development. But like, what do you do in a scenario where you have two manga that you like equally as much and you're trying to decide which one to put higher, and then you go, I think I kind of prefer the art style of this one, I'm gonna rank it higher because this one, just doing that instead of like going out of your way trying to forcefully find something in the writing or in the story that you can push that one manga above the other one. Like, nah, bro, you can rate anime and manga based on art style. And I only just realized that it says anime/manga. You can absolutely rank anime based on art style. So many people ranking Demon Slayer high as fuck because it looks gorgeous. Let them. I think it's valid as fuck. The term peak fiction is way too overused. I think peak fiction is just one of those buzzwords that's going around right now. It's just making the rounds in anitube and anti-Twitter and whatnot. It's just the trendy thing to say, and I think it's gonna die down pretty soon. I don't think by the end of this year a lot of people will be just spouting out peak fiction, peak fiction, peak fiction. Kind of like people using the word mid has really died down. Like, sure, we've already seen it a bunch in these comments. But if I had been making anime videos, manga videos, 2-3 years ago, and I made a question like this, like, hey, give me your hot takes, and it would have been just nothing but this is mid, this is mid, this is mid, this is. Yeah, peak fiction is overused right now, but yeah, it's fine. It's gonna die down. Just let the people hop on the trend. It's not that big a deal. Wait, why am I so low? I didn't realize I'm so low in the camera. Hold on, let me get up. Holy shit, I've been recording 16 minutes. I've just been like, Reze or Reze or Reze or best girl in all of Chainsaw Man. I think this is pretty valid, actually. People shouldn't like or hate anime or manga based on the fan base or their interaction with them. Yeah, I agree. This is a pretty vanilla take. This isn't really a hot take. I agree. I get it on one side, because I don't know who said that. It literally might have been Joey the Anime Man who said this a while ago in one of his Let's Fight videos, which is just what I'm doing right now. I'm literally ripping him off. Actually, I think he ripped off Anthony Fantano first. Doesn't matter, everyone just steals content on YouTube anyway. What he said, or someone else, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Someone said that a large part of their enjoyment with anime and manga comes from the community. And when they've finished a series, they love to go on discussion forums, subreddits, or Twitter, or whatever, to talk about it. And then if the reception from the fan base to what they have to say is bad, or if the things that they see the fan base already saying is just some head-ass shit, it turns them off. They don't feel like they get the full experience, and it's not as fun. Which, like, yeah, for sure, obviously, that's horrible. But I think the problem comes in with, like, you don't like a story because of the people who read it. I think that's just monkey brain, isn't it? Like, there's no like logical connection between any of that. Like, I'm gonna say this fucking right now, making a statement. Don't want to get political, but I'm gonna say there's a lot of people, or there's a big portion of the Berserk community I don't like people making Donovan jokes, because it makes me feel fucking uncomfortable. And a huge portion of the Berserk community just makes some really out-of-pocket jokes, in my opinion. I don't want to attack any Berserk fans or anyone who makes out-of-pocket jokes like that. I don't want you to feel like you're being excluded from the community that I'm slowly trying to build with my YouTube channel. You're welcome. Just don't make those jokes. But despite there being this, I would say, rather vocal group of Berserk fans, I would never call Berserk a shit series because of that. Like, it's still amazing. I realized that there were a couple of people in these comments that posted multiple hot takes, and I would love to just read one hot take per person, but some of these are just so fucking good that like one person made multiple really good points, so I'm sorry, I'm just gonna read Another one by this person. People should really stop rating or reviewing anime or manga based on terms like overrated, underrated, or overhyped, because those terms don't have anything to do with the work itself and are only a result of interaction with the masses. Just because more people have seen something doesn't make it worse, and that goes both ways. Just because less people know about it doesn't make it better or more valuable. So the part about that I want to latch onto is the latter part of just because less people know about it doesn't make it better or more valuable. I think that's a great take. All of this is just a great take in general. Like, yeah, but you've heard people talk about why overrated, overhyped, underrated, why those words are dumb as shit. You've all heard someone say that a million times. I'm stuttering a lot, I'm sorry. Caffeine. I think there's a group of really really pretentious people who think they're better just because they watch or read niche shit. And like I'm sure there's people who watch me too who like think that because Oyasumi Punpun is their favorite series, they're like somehow better because it's a niche series. And I just want to give you guys a little wake-up call. Oyasumi Punpun isn't even niche anymore. It's a really fucking popular manga. It's like the most popular seinen manga right now, probably. I realized this the other day when I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed, my private Instagram, and I noticed that every time I went into the Explore page, there was a part, like, you know when you go to the Instagram Explore page and you can click on a photo and just keep scrolling and get the same kind of shit? Every time that I went to that Explore page, there was a Punpun picture. There was something relating to Oyasumi Punpun, and sometimes it would be in like Spanish or something. That shit would have 22,000 likes or whatever. At that moment I realized, like, wow, this very niche feeling manga that I read about, I don't know, like 10 months ago has really popped off in just the time that has passed since I read it even. And even back when I read it, it probably wasn't as niche as I thought. Not to say that I ever felt any kind of superiority because I was reading something I thought was like very, nobody knows about this, this is my thing, I'm such a fucking hipster. But still, it was really surprising. And if you're someone who thinks you're above someone, if you're someone who reads Oyasumi Punpun and Homunculus and whatever, and you think you're above someone who enjoys One Piece, Naruto, those are like the most vanilla examples I could come up with for this like very scenario. If you think you're better than those people, then I have a little something for you. There, you wake up yet? Ooh, this one, when I read it, I was like, oh my fucking god, bro. Isekai is the MCU of anime. The MCU is more on the fan service than the real quality itself. They both just focus on generic story and fan service. Okay, look, I haven't watched any isekais, but I know enough about the entire anime franchise and community to know that, yes, isekais are a genre that have been fucking milked dry at this point. And people are just really fucking tired of seeing them. And I get that. I've heard like maybe 1 out of 100 isekais are actually good. So I get your frustration with them. But do not fucking compare that shit to the MCU movies. We had like a, I don't know, 6-month long project with my girlfriend to watch all the MCU movies, and it was fucking awesome. I hadn't seen any of them because I was the guy who doesn't fuck with superhero movies. And by the time we'd watched Endgame, it was like, first of all, we watched everything in order, in like chronological order. And I gotta say, after finishing Endgame, I felt like it was absolutely worth it to watch like, what, 20 movies just to get to that final one and have all of it chronologically in my brain just for the final hard-hitting moments. I absolutely disagree with MCU movies being nothing but fan service and boring story. Like, sure, they're superhero movies. Let's get one thing straight. Superhero movies, when have they actually had the most amazing writing? Like, they're always going to be, they are and they will always be fairly vanilla when it comes to storytelling. Doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they're boring. Basic or vanilla doesn't mean bad. It can still be extremely enjoyable. And I think you're only calling them fan service because they have superheroes in them. Duh, that's what it's about. Tokyo Ghoul fell off in Re. If you're talking about the anime, sure, fair point. If you're talking about the manga, you're just fucking wrong. It absolutely just did not fall off. Some of the most emotional scenes in the entire series happen in Tokyo Ghoul Re. Komi Can't Communicate is unfunny and boring. I actually had never heard about Komi Can't Communicate before this comment, but I thought I'd check it out if it's like a short comedy manga. So I read a few chapters and yeah, I think it's like 300 chapters or something, right? I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was pretty entertaining, but I did only read 5 chapters, so if it just keeps doing the same thing that it was doing for 300 fucking chapters, yeah, it's probably pretty boring. Pegasus was one of the most uninteresting things in Punpun. I think you're confusing hot take with the public opinion, my guy. Shonen and Seinen literally have little to no meaning outside of their publisher. People need to learn what they are and stop using them as genres. I don't think people using them as genres is bad or like unvalid, because there are more manga that are characterized as seinen that have similarities with the other seinen manga than there are shonen manga that have similarities with seinen, and the other way around. Like there's more shonen that's similar to other shonen than seinen that's similar to shonen. So it makes sense. But I know what you mean. Sufferance actually made an amazing video about it. I'll link it in the video if I remember. I doubt this is ever gonna reach him, but if it does, Sufferance, he makes some fucking dope ass videos. I rarely even watch anitube nowadays. Anytime a Sufferance video pops up, click on that shit, let it play, just eargasm. But yeah, he made a great video about what shonen and seinen actually mean, or what the technical terms mean, and he went into much more detail than I can be fucked to go into, so just go check out his video. It's awesome. Anime is slowly falling apart in terms of diversity, and unique stylization is becoming more rare, IMO. When I first read this comment, I was like, yeah, that's true, but then I thought, like, but is it though? I don't know if you mean concept wise or story wise, but I'm gonna assume that you mean like visually diverse and unique, because you mentioned stylization. Has there ever been a time in anime history where there wasn't just a shit ton of series coming out that all kind of looked similar art style wise? Like, I'm completely open to being corrected about this. Haven't anime seasons always kind of been like, every season there's like maybe 1 or 2 series that really stand out, if that, and then the rest of the shit just kind of blends in and kind of looks like the same shit all over again, or just the same yeah, like you saying anime isn't that diverse nowadays, it's true, but my question is, was it ever that diverse? Let me know. Maybe I'm just fucking ignorant. I will admit I haven't been in the scene for as long as some of you probably have. So yeah, let me know. But hey, if you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out any new videos. Check out my Twitch, Twitter, and that's it. Have a good one.